For those of you who are new to sourdough bread baking, I wanted to show you kind of the hardest steps. Basically, to this point, if you're making bread, you are already going to have mixed everything in your mixer and you're going to have let it rested, then you're gonna add your salt, mix it up, and then you're going to put it in a bowl and let it rise. This is what it's gonna look like after it's risen. It's gonna be nice and soft and fluffy. But what you have to do to shape it into loaves is you actually have to punch some of that air out. So I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces and I'm gonna slap it down. Don't be gentle. Get all your frustrations out. You're just gonna slap it and kind of tuck it up so that it's tight. And then I'm gonna leave this, okay? I'm gonna do the other one, punch it, roll it, and then I'm going to let it rest like this for about 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, I'll show you how I shape it. Okay, so after you've let your bread sit for about 10 minutes, now we're gonna shape it. What I like to do is I like to flip it over, grab kind of in the middle, slap it down, and roll it on itself so it's tight, and then kind of roll it to get the seam in the middle. And then I pinch along the seam so I get it really tight. And then I'm gonna roll it again and just get it as tight as I can, okay? Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna wrap it in a towel. For sourdough, we're gonna leave it overnight wrapped in these towels. So I'm gonna take some flour and I'm gonna flour my towel. And I'm gonna take my bread that I just tightly wrapped. I'm gonna do this one just a little bit tighter because mine stayed out a little bit longer than 10 minutes. So it needs a little more tightening here. Okay, I'm gonna put it seam side up in my towel and I'm gonna sprinkle it with a little more flour just because I don't want it to stick. And then I'm gonna wrap it like I'm wrapping a baby. The tighter you wrap it, the better your bread will be because your bread will continue to expand and rise as much room as you give it. So if I were to put it back in this bowl, it would rise all the way again, but I don't want it to rise out of my towel. So I'm gonna wrap it as tight as I can. So I'm gonna pull over the top and kind of hold it while I pull the sides in. Tuck that in, pull the sides in, and then wrap it over the top tightly. And then when I put it on, I'm gonna put it on a cookie sheet to go rise in my fridge. I'm gonna have wrapped it all the way around itself so that if it grows, it's gonna be constricted by this towel. I'll show you how to do another one. Okay, so first I'm gonna grab it in the middle, slap it down, roll it on itself. I'm getting out all those air bubbles, getting it as tight as I can, okay? I'm gonna pinch along the seam, kind of roll that a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to take another towel, flour it. There's a hair on it, gross. Flour it, seam side up. I'm just gonna pinch that, make sure that seam's really nice and tight. Flour that, wrap it over. Tuck it on one side, tuck it on another side. Wrap it like I'm wrapping a baby. And then these will go on a cookie sheet in my fridge overnight. I actually put them on a cookie sheet and then I put a garbage sack around the whole cookie sheet and I put that in my fridge. That's it. Now that you've got all your babies wrapped on a cookie sheet, then I just take a big garbage sack and I put them in there. It will kind of create a humid environment in your fridge that then they can rise in, and I reuse it every time. That's why I have a hole in it. I just tie it off, and then I'll put this in my fridge overnight, and then tomorrow morning I will bake off my loaves. So in the morning, you are going to get your bread out of the fridge and you're gonna unwrap it and put it on a cookie sheet. I have found that I can fit 3 on a really big cookie sheet. So you lay them out like this and you preheat your oven to 500 degrees And then right before you're gonna put it in the oven, you're going to slash your loaves. This gives it room to expand and it doesn't explode in your oven. So you're just gonna give it 3 slashes. It makes it look pretty and also helps it when it's baking. Like that. Then what you're gonna do is you're going to take a little cup of water. I just would use like a little plastic cup of water, maybe this much water. And I keep a little pan, just like a metal baking pan in the bottom of my oven. And right before you put the bread in, my oven just beeped that it's ready, you're going to splash some of that water into the pan at the bottom of your oven. And then you're going to turn your oven down to 450. This creates like a steam environment and gives your bread that last final push to rise. So that's what I'll do.